what we talked about is how when we are driven by something, sometimes it feels natural to get so absorbed in it that we stop seeing right from wrong. We fail to distinguish the good from the bad. Everything kind of feels okay. Everything feels normal. Everything feels right. And that, Krishna said, is sheer ignorance. When you lose your sense of discrimination. As long as you maintain that mindfulness, where you are at least aware of what you are thinking, what you are speaking, what you are doing. As long as that awareness is there, half the things people do, they won't do. And that awareness brings about the wisdom, the intellect, the intelligence to then make the right decision. I once read this beautiful story, There was a king once, and he had a beautiful daughter. He loved her like anything, and he got her an extremely expensive necklace. It was absolutely studded with diamond, rubies, and whatnot. And that was worth 100,000 gold coins. King presented it to her. She was only 15 years old. He said, "My princess, this is for you. One day you are going to be the queen of this nation, and I want you to live like a queen." So he gave her that beautiful necklace. And being a child, she wore it, went around playing, and it came off her neck, and a bird, a giant vulture, took it and took off. And she lost the necklace. She ran inside the palace, told her father, "Look, I've lost my necklace. What to do now?" He said, "Look, I will send everybody I can to catch that eagle." And all his troops and so on, they went running. They tried to trace that vulture, but they couldn't find it. The king was obviously a little stressed out about that. He was distressed, and he announced a prize. Anybody who finds it will get 10,000 gold coins and will get recognition by the royal court. Everybody started looking for it, but nobody could find it. One day, it so happened, a few weeks later, a man was passing by, and there was this marsh-like place. There was mud, there was quagmire, there were other things, leaves fallen there, and in between, he saw this shining object. And he was ecstatic. He was almost certain that this is the diamond necklace the king had been looking for. And he could immediately visualize 10,000 gold coins, receiving that prize and getting recognized and walking with dignity and buying a big house and more cows and horses and so on. But it was a very dirty place. He said, "It's a small price to pay." And then he takes a little branch in his hand, goes further, leans over and tries to lift it, but unable to lift it. He wants to avoid stepping in that marshy place. It was also stinking. But then he decides it's worth it for 10,000 gold coins. Most people would even jump in a septic tank. This was just a marsh, I think. So he said, "Look, for 10,000 coins, I'll do it." And he puts one foot forward and the next, and then moves a bit further and tries to grab it. But most fascinatingly, nothing comes out. He says, "What is this illusion? This should be, I can see it. Why can't I capture it? And then he comes out. He sees a saint walking by. And he says to the saint, Maharaj, can you please help me with something? The saint said, you need to bathe? He said, no, I'm looking for something else, but I can't tell you. How am I supposed to help you? Plus it'll help, he said, if you go take a dip in the river first and then come and talk to me. So the man did the needful. And he said, I'm worried. I want to share my problem with you, but I'm worried I might lose it. Because he's thinking this sadhu, this saint might take it. It happens. Sometimes people go to a guru. They will want to confess, but they talk all mumbo jumbo. They will talk about everything except the thing they need to say in a confession or in anything, in an apology or something. They'll talk about everything but that one thing. Because deep somewhere, they still don't trust the guru. So here was this man. He wanted help from that saint, that monk, but he wasn't sure if he could trust him. So he's saying, how do you search for things in a marsh? He said, what kind of question is that? The saint. He was not Om Swami, they're just that answering question. He said, this is not a sensible question. He said, no, please, I just want to know. The saint said, listen, I've got things to do. Either you tell me your exact problem or I'm going. If you don't trust me, then why bother? How can you trust my wisdom then if you don't trust me as a person? And the man said, look, I will tell you, but promise me you will not take what I'm about to get. If you might give me the right answer. He said, okay, ask me. That necklace the king announced? He said, yes, I can see it there. Come, I'll show you. He said, see, that shining object. That is necklace. It is without a doubt. I can see it there. But I don't know what is wrong. I go there, I try to grab it. Doesn't come in my hands. What to do? The saint said, maybe you're looking in the wrong place. What do you mean? He said, this is a place I can see it. Has it occurred to you? The monk said, maybe you should look up. You're looking down. You're looking in the quagmire, in the mess. You've got to set your eyes higher. And the saint goes away. The man looks up, and right there, on a tree, on a branch, was hanging the necklace. And he was simply seeing the reflection. And this was the wisdom that Krishna tried to give Arjuna, that what he sees as a reality is merely a reflection of a truer reality elsewhere.